Carolina Panther 2021 campaign season is getting underway. Yes, sir. Let's go. Go. Oh. Cut it. Cut right. Panther Nation. Let's go. Oh. Let's get it, yo! Season approaching, we're ready and focused. Another year we getting ready so we can compete for a trophy. The media paying attention, they watch us closely. We putting the entire world in the NFL on notice. We got a quarterback ready for war, he's got a pretender. The running back MVP caliber NFL second defenders. Receivers the top of the Olympic sprinters, this team full of winners. Mixed with excellent coaches, you know that we are contenders. Defense shit ain't hit hard. Front seven, that's the heat squad. Eyes like that, it's on deep, cause of these workers you can pick on. Coming to make a river in the stadium, you better be at your best. Taking this lightly, you know we ain't playing, cause we come straight to that. We ain't trying to talk, we ain't even trying to congregate. Meet us on the field, meet us on the line, meet us in the trenches, why just dominate? Going low with this screaming fans in the pack house, yeah, we back in the bank. Yeah, we back in the bank. Yeah, we back in the bank. Shout out to coaches and general managers, shout out to owners. They got the vision and recipe. The Super Bowl is the destiny. One time for the O-line. Bright lights, yeah, showtime. The first world championship is underway. Baby, it's go time. In the Bank of America Stadium, you better be at your best. You better be at your best. You better be at your best. Taking this lightly, you know we ain't playing. We coming hard straight at your chest. We coming straight at your neck. Y'all gonna show us respect. Y'all already know what time it is, man. Carolina Panthers, 2K21. Season. Until. Let's go. Panther Nation, load up. We're going all the way this year. Let's go. Cut it, cut right. Go.
What is up, everybody? This is your boy, Mr. T Money 1993 in the building. One of the co-hosts of the Three Panther Amigos podcast, featuring myself, CPG, and Kendall Francis. And that's the power of having three amigos, is that, you know, when people, you know, MIA, somebody can still hold it down. So tonight is going to be kind of an open show with just me. We can do a little football Q&As if anybody has any questions that they have in the chat. And I just wanted to kind of talk about some of my thoughts, different random topics that have kind of came in my head as far as this Panther team this year. And just seeing where everybody else's head is at as far as this team for this season. Hi, McKenna. You want to be a co-host, baby? At least we know you'll show up. But so I wanted to think about the top four position groups for this team this year. The first one that I figured was the top position group as far as this team this year was the wide receiver position. I feel like our receivers are really deep, starting with one of the only 2,000-yard tandems last year, Robbie Anderson and DJ Moore. I feel like both of those guys are beasts. Both of those guys can be number one receivers. I feel like we drafted a great receiver in Terence Marshall out of LSU. And one thing that I liked about Terence Marshall was that he can be that guy. He started out as the third receiver underneath Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson on that LSU championship winning team, and he balled out in that position. And then last year with no Jamar, no Justin Jefferson, no Joe Burrow, he still was a man and still put up crazy numbers. So I think he can step in day one and produce. We did lose Curtis Samuel, but like I said, we got Terence Marshall now. We signed David Moore from Seattle, who killed us a couple years ago. That game, he was getting nasty. We also drafted Shaw Smith, the receiver out of South Carolina, who I think can do a lot of what Curtis Samuel does, with your jet sweeps, with your quick screen passes. One of those guys that you just want to put the ball in his hands and see what he does. I know a lot of our fan base love Omar Bayless, and they wanted to see more of him last year, but you know, because of COVID, we really didn't get to. So Brandon Zylstra, I mean, we kind of deep at receiver, and I like to see what these guys are gonna do. But I think that's the top position group on the team. Number two, I would say is running back with Christian McCaffrey, one of the best running backs in the league. Uh, so that's definitely gonna put you towards the top. And then I'm drafting Chuba Hubbard, uh, who was a 2,000-yard back 2 years ago. Last year, tried to play injured, came back, and had a down year. But I feel like with the addition of Chuba, we don't have to change our offense at all. When Christian McCaffrey is out the game, or even if he was to get hurt like last year. So definitely two guys that I like. I like Smith, who we had last year, and we did lose Mike Davis. He went to Atlanta. But I feel like our running back is our second strongest position on the team. Number three, I feel like our cornerback position will be one of the strongest position groups on this team. With the addition of J.C. Horn, who I think will be the number one corner as a day one guy. Dante Action Jackson, one of the fastest corners in the league. And the addition of A.J. Boye, who had a down year last year and will be suspended to start this year, but I think is still a serviceable corner in this league. You got Keith Taylor, who we drafted out of Washington. I think a big corner who's more of a press corner, something that we kind of want to do this year to get off the field on third downs. We still got Stanley Thomas Oliver, who we drafted last year and was actually getting some playing time. So, like I said, corner, I feel really confident at corner, especially with my number four position group, which is the defensive line / pass rush. We got a lot of guys to throw at people this year, whether it's D. Jones that we got from Tennessee, Derek Brown, Double B. We added Hassan Reddick, who had a career year last year. We got Morgan Fox from the Rams. We still got Marquise Haynes that we drafted out of Ole Miss. We got Christian Miller coming back this year after sitting out last year with COVID. And I think we just got a lot of pass rush to throw at people. And combine that with a stronger cornerback group, I feel like this defense definitely has the potential to be a problem early and allow Sam Darnold to settle in. I picked three breakout players on each side of the ball. My three breakout players on offense was I feel like Sam Darnold will be one. I feel like Sam Darnold will have a career year for him. Just by being a better offense with better talent, with better coaching, just with better everything. Carolina's a total opposite of New York as he was seeing it over there. And I definitely he'll enjoy. And if you're in doubt, check it down to CMC. Don't throw no interceptions. Don't throw nothing crazy. Take your shots when you need to. And when in doubt, you got one of the best running backs in the league to check it down to. Number two breakout players. I think somebody who was starting to break out a little bit last year that you probably never heard about in Arizona is Dan Arnold, who will more than likely be our number one tight end this year. So yeah, we'll have that Darnold to Arnold connection. But big tight end with some speed. He was a great red zone target, which I think that's what we're looking for here in Carolina. And I don't think he'll get pushed really by Tommy Tremble and Ian Thomas for playing time. But that's my second breakout player. And third, even though he's had 1,000 yards for the last couple seasons, I think 2-3 seasons, I feel like DJ Moore will have more of a breakout year where people will recognize him as a top 10, top 15 receiver. I think he'll get his touchdowns up, which I feel like is always his issue when you look at the stats is he never really has a lot of touchdowns. But I feel like those touchdowns are going to go up this year, and he'll be viewed as one of the best receivers in the league. My breakout players on defense, guy that I failed to mention on our defensive line / pass rush is YGM. Yetur Gross Matos that we drafted out of Penn State. I definitely liked his game coming out. I feel like Penn State coaches are bad on defense. I feel like they waste a lot of guys' potentials, and that guys have to get a year to get out from under that Penn State defensive coaching to learn the positions. And he was banged up a lot last year. So YGM is a guy that I think will be a breakout player on defense. J.C. Horn, even though he's a rookie, I think he'll be a breakout player. I think people will see him already as one of the top young corners in the league. And then third, I know some people know about him because of his versatility, but I feel like Jeremy Chin will be a breakout player for next year. I feel like Jeremy Chin, playing a little bit more safety this year, will be able to get his turnovers up, as far as interceptions, fumbles, that kind of thing. But he balled out last year, and if it wasn't for Chase Young and the Washington football team making it to the playoffs, I think Jeremy Chin would have won Rookie of the Year. Five players who will benefit from a real offseason. Number one for me was Omar Bayless. Omar Bayless is a guy that a lot of our fan base loves, and really want to get a chance to see if he can be a good receiver. I feel like Will Greer surprisingly could benefit from a real offseason. I'm not necessarily ready to give up on the Will Greer train. I know a lot of people are, but I'm not one of those people. I just feel like he has potential. He just hasn't had a fair shake at it. And even last year when Teddy was hurt, Will Greer wasn't. They didn't put him in. They put in PJ Walker. Number three, Troy Pride. I feel like Troy Pride will one benefit from not having a lot of pressure. Troy Pride was sort of a later on pick. I think he was fourth or fifth round, and he started a lot of last year, because of how our cornerbacks was set up. And I feel like this year the pressure is not so much on him. He can kind of learn more the defense, learn more about what receivers are doing. And I feel like he's not necessarily the most athletic guy, but I feel like he can be better than he was last year. Sam Darnold will benefit from a real offseason because you're getting a real offseason to learn the offense. You're getting a real offseason to learn your weapons, a real training camp, real preseason to get your feet wet before it's time to get out there. And number five, YGM. Like I said, coming in as a rookie last year was really hard. It had to be really challenging for those guys. Um, and I feel like having a real offseason and knowing that you have a potential and that the defensive coaches like you and want the best for you, I feel like is a really big thing. But I guess that'll be the end of the show. Just my quick thoughts on a couple different topics. This is your boy, Mr. Tima 1993 from the Three Panther Amigos podcast. Appreciate everybody who listening. Make sure you subscribe. It will be up on my channel, and it will also be up on the Three Panther Amigos channel. So make sure you go over there and subscribe.